Hi, I'm LDS in Medium, and thank you so much for tuning in today. I want to try to bring religion and spirituality closer together, and this is what this pod is all about. I will talk about my own thoughts and feelings as I am both LDS and have spiritual gifts, something that I've had my whole life, but I always thought that it was hard to combine these gifts with my religion. This has torn me into two directions, and I have talked to many people who feel the same way. I can't choose not to have my spiritual gifts, but I can choose how I use them. And I always want to use them for good and to help others. I believe my heavenly parents gave them to me for a reason. So, this is me. Join my quest for knowledge.
Tony Robbins, Day 4, Episode 1. And this is all about relationship. We're going to start with love plus passion equals relationship.
So, Tony Robbins' Day 4 was all about relationships. Relationships are something that we've become acutely aware of in this time of COVID, quarantine, and social distancing. Our hearts reach out to all of those who have died alone and to their families. So one of the quotes that Tony Robbins said was, "The quality of your life is the quality of your relationship."
Thinking of that means I haven't had that much of a relationship for the past 20 years. Because, to be honest, I haven't had that much of quality of life, if I look to how my relationship has been. And that is not just one's fault, it's two persons that are to blame if the relationship is not good. It takes two to tango, we said that before, and it's so true. He also had a quote that said, "The greatest evolutionary experience we have is love." And me and my sister saw the shadow experiment with Debbie Ford yesterday. We found it on YouTube because we were talking about shadows. And one of the people that was on that show, he also talked about how we as humans are the only one that have evolved to be able to understand and feel love in the way that we do. And Tony had another quote that said, "What else on earth can bring a warrior to their knees than a broken heart?" And when I was in the middle of the divorce, one of the things my ex-husband told me was, "You are so strong, you are so strong, you are so strong." And I didn't understand it because right then, that was like when he was breaking my heart and I didn't feel strong. I felt powerless and weak and small. But we talked about this today actually, about feeling strong and understanding your own worth. And I understand now that in his eyes, I had started on my path of finding my inner strength. And to him, I was strong, even though I felt small and weak. And I understand the concept of having a broken heart bring you down. But then again, what brings you down can make you stronger. And I found my inner strength. And I wouldn't be anywhere else in the world right now than I am, which is something that I never thought I'd say. I'd never thought I'd say I'd be grateful for one of the most painful experiences in my life. To be left, to be broken, to be belittled, and found less worthy and not worthy of love. And to see that, to conquer that, to come out of that, and to find my inner strength and see my inner worth, that has been one of the toughest and yet most fun, enjoyable experiences I've had so far in my life. So I'm really, really grateful about having my heart broken.
Well, you said something about falling down. Falling down made you stronger, but it also requires that you get up, and I think you did that really well. Once the shock died down and you processed some emotion, you got up, you brushed off, and you just went on. And not only did you just go on, but you also elevated and you started climbing the stairs. You started rising, which was really cool and amazing to watch.
But I think it was about understanding and identifying the lie and the projections that he put on me. Once the pain and the sadness and the shock died down and I started thinking about what he actually told me when he left me, I was like, but that's not true and that's not true. And it made me realize that he didn't know me at all. But then again, I don't think I showed him the true me either. So the person that my sister knows, that my family knows, that my friend knows, that person, he didn't know. He didn't see. I was someone completely else when I was with him. So by all means, we did not have a functional relationship. And I've learned so much from that. And I'm looking forward to testing my newfound knowledge somewhere in the future.
Yeah, so we have the relationship we create. We're all responsible for our relationships. First, it's what you do. It's also what you don't do. It's not putting down limits. It's accepting intolerable behaviors. So we have the relationships we create, and we have the relationships that we think we deserve. So how do you change that? Well, you need to come to the conclusion that you actually deserve more, that you're worth much more than what you're receiving. And then it's up to the both of you to take that into consideration and see if that's something you can build on, or if it's past that point, then it's just time to move forward. And also, I had a divorce, I moved forward, and I rarely look back. And I can definitely say that I'm much happier now than I was before. Another thing that we're talking about is that there are two ways to learn. Either you learn of your own experiences, which is often painful, like my divorce and your divorce. And that was a shared experience that we have on different times. Mine was like 10 years ago, and yours is more recent. But nonetheless, both very painful experiences. And you can also learn by others' experiences. Can you tell me something that you've learned from others' experiences that you didn't have to experience yourself?
Well, firstly, I never thought I'd get divorced. And that was a shocker, just to be in that position, that I'm actually getting divorced. He's leaving me. What am I supposed to do now? When I was young, like I told you before, that I didn't think I was worthy of love. I didn't think I deserved to be loved, and that made me look for love. And I had numerous boyfriends, like more than I can count. But I only kept them for a little while, because since I didn't feel worthy of love, if they started loving me, I didn't think they were worthy. And so I left them, which was a really bad cycle and a bad behavior. And I can see now where it brought me. And when I found myself in a position of being left and alone again, I looked to the ones that had gone through divorces before me, and with all the knowledge and all the courses that I've taken, I realized how important it is to heal myself and my heart, and to find myself actually again before I even think about starting a new relationship. Since I have a problem of being quiet, I'm not speaking my mind when I'm in love with someone or have someone that I really deeply care for. And so I understand how important it is for me to find the strength and express my views and express who I am and what I want in order for me to ever have a healthy relationship. And so I saw my sister and my aunt and another aunt and how they went out and tried to get confirmation about themselves from outwardly, while I shut down and put everyone away and tried to find validation of myself from myself, which is the biggest difference. So for me, having the divorce made me pretty much shut out everyone and just to go inside and really look at myself and accepting myself and taking accountability for my part in this whole mess. To see who I am, what I did, and what I want to do and who I want to become. And for me, that has been the biggest part of my healing. And it makes me a better person to be in any sort of relationship today. That when things happen, maybe I'll just be quiet and then take a breath and then say what I actually think, instead of just being quiet and hurting on the inside.
So love plus passion equals relation. That is, relation equals love plus passion. So you usually begin a relationship with somebody that you love, or you feel a great passion. You do both probably in the beginning. But it needs to be a deep connection and an excitement between the two parties. And a lot of people feel that in the beginning. And it's something about the other person that attracts you. But a relationship is also a balance and a union of male, female energies, and yin-yang. We need both types of energies. Another quote that Tony Robbins said was, "Relationships don't die from the lack of love, they die from the lack of intimacy." And I think that women and men think differently about the word intimacy. But when I looked it up on the internet, it said intimacy, a cozy and private and a relaxed atmosphere. And so maybe if you ask a man, the answer would be sex. But for women, it's more a connection, a bond. And for men, maybe more physical, and for women, psychological connection. So when you talk about intimacy between men and women, just be aware of that it means different things, and you need to talk about it. What does it mean actually? For women, it could be touch, showing that you care, like cutting the marshmallows into the chocolate. The cute things, the closeness, to share things and experiences together. It doesn't have to be the physical love. But then for males, maybe the other things is not what's important for them. It's just the final intimacy. So just check your definitions. What do you think about it? What do I think about it? Compare the notes and just agree on something that gives you both what you need from the intimacy that you have in your relationship. Do you have any thoughts about that?
I actually think that that's one of the reasons that I love the K-dramas. I love watching grown men cry. and the K-drama super actors, they cry a lot in the dramas. But honestly, that's all I want. For me, intimacy is the ability to be vulnerable with someone. The proof that I trust you enough to show my inner self. And we didn't have that in our relationship. I think my husband showed himself vulnerable for me maybe 3 times during our whole marriage. And so I really long for someone to trust me enough to just be vulnerable with me, that I can support, that I can be strong for. And of course, I want to be that strong for that person too. But for me, it's about a balance. It's about a give and take. It's about being there for each other and caring for each other enough to let someone in your heart. For me, to let someone in my heart and to be let into someone's heart, for me, that is intimacy. But it's been so interesting in discussing this with you and just getting words and understanding how my thoughts and my brain works regarding relationships, intimacy, taking accountability for my part in the relationships, what I value in a relationship. I hope this has gotten you thinking and looked at yourself and your behavior and what you like and what you want to work on. Until next time, tomorrow will be another episode. Be the light, share the light, spread the light, shine.
This is my journey. Thank you so much for keeping me company today. Please download, like, share, and subscribe, and help spread the light and spread the word to expand our community. Let's bring more love, peace, and unity to this world. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. Always be grateful, kind, and loving. Be brave and remember to step out of your comfort zone and smile. If you support us on Patreon, you will get access to our meditations and extra materials so you can download them as MP3. Also, we now have a Facebook group, which you can access from our Facebook community. Please answer the questions as you apply to participate. It will be a safe haven where we can keep discussing religion and spirituality, our spiritual gifts, and self-development. Remember, one person can make a difference, but together we can change the world.